Imagine someone you know walking into a psychic's room, laughing inside because they don't believe in any of it. They're there as a joke, just to see how ridiculous the predictions can be. They expect to hear vague nonsense, something they can mock later. But as the psychic closes their eyes and begins to speak, the room grows colder. A shiver runs down their spine. The air feels heavy, almost suffocating. They try to brush it off, blaming the dim lights or their own nerves. But then the psychic says something that makes their heart skip a beat. You thought this was a joke. But the joke's on you. You've crossed paths with someone who isn't ordinary, someone who was chosen, someone whose destiny is written beyond your understanding. The skeptic's smile fades. Their face turns pale. How could this stranger know about you, about the person they mocked, dismissed, and gossiped about? They suddenly feel exposed, vulnerable, as if the walls are closing in on them. The psychic continues, "You laughed at them, but you didn't know who you were laughing at. And now the energy you've put out is coming back, and it's stronger than you could ever imagine." They try to shake it off. It's just a trick, right? But their heart is racing, cold sweat runs down their back, every hair on their body stands on end. They walked in laughing, but they leave trembling, haunted by words they can't unhear. They don't realize it yet, but their lives are about to change, and there's nothing they can do to stop it. They mocked someone with a purpose, someone with a calling, someone protected by forces beyond their understanding. What they thought was a joke is now their worst nightmare, and they're terrified because they can't escape it. They didn't just mock a person, they challenged the universe itself, and the universe is responding. They tried to play with forces they don't understand, and now they're facing the consequences. It's no longer funny, it's real, it's terrifying. And the person they mocked, that person is you, the chosen one, whose destiny they tried to belittle. They never knew who they were dealing with, and now they're shaking because they crossed a line they never should have. The joke they started has turned into a curse they can't break. They underestimated the power of destiny, the power of spiritual protection, and now they're paying the price. They laughed, but the universe didn't. And now it's your turn to rise. When they laughed at you, they thought they were just mocking another person. They didn't realize they were challenging a power far greater than themselves. They didn't. No, they were facing someone protected by spiritual forces they couldn't understand. They thought it was harmless, just fun and games, but they were wrong. When they made fun of you, they were mocking the universe's plan, a plan that is set in motion by forces beyond human control. And now the consequences are unfolding before their eyes. They don't understand why everything is going wrong. They can't explain the sudden bad luck, the constant anxiety, the strange events that keep happening. They are haunted by nightmares, visions they can't shake off, and an overwhelming feeling of guilt and fear. They try to brush it off, blaming stress or coincidence, but deep down, they know something is wrong. They challenged what they didn't understand, and now they're paying the price. The universe has a way of balancing itself. Energy flows in cycles, and what they put out is returning to them. They laughed at your struggles, but now they are facing their own. They mocked your pain, but now they are feeling a pain they can't escape. They thought they were powerful, but they are realizing they are powerless against the forces they provoked. They laughed at your dreams, but now their own dreams are haunted by shadows they can't explain. They thought they were safe because they didn't believe in spiritual power. They thought that mocking you had no consequences because they didn't understand who you were. But the universe doesn't care about their disbelief. Energy responds to energy whether they believe in it or not. And by mocking you, they invited chaos into their own lives. They underestimated the power of a chosen one, and now they're facing the consequences of their own actions. They see you rising, growing stronger, and it terrifies them. They don't understand how you're thriving while their lives are falling apart. They don't see the protection around you, the spiritual forces that guard you because of your purpose. They mocked you because they didn't understand you. But now they are realizing that you are different. You are chosen, you are powerful, and the universe protects its own. They laughed, but the universe didn't. They challenged you, but they were challenging the forces that guide you. They tried to break you, but they only broke themselves. Now they are shaking, not because of you, but because of the consequences of their own actions. They tried to play a game they didn't understand, and now they are paying the price. They can't escape the energy they created. It surrounds them, haunts them, and follows them wherever they go. They thought they were clever, but they were blind. Blind to the power of destiny, blind to the power of a chosen one. They never expected this. They never imagined that mocking you would bring this upon them. They didn't believe in spiritual consequences, but now they are living them. They see you shining, growing stronger, untouched by their hate. They see your destiny unfolding and it scares them. They realize now that you are not like them. You are protected. You are chosen. And no amount of mockery can change that. Chosen ones are not ordinary people. They are individuals with a higher purpose, a calling that sets them apart from the rest. They carry within them a light that others don't understand, a power that goes beyond the physical world. This power isn't about magic tricks or illusions. It's about spiritual energy, the ability to influence the world through thought, intention, and purpose. When you are a chosen one, your very presence affects the energy around you. People feel it, even if they don't understand it. This is why they mocked you. They sensed something different about you, something they couldn't explain. It made them uncomfortable, so they tried to bring you down to their level. They didn't realize they were mocking someone with a divine purpose. They didn't know they were challenging a power they could never defeat. They saw your light, and instead of respecting it, they tried to dim it. But light cannot be dimmed by darkness. Instead, their own darkness was exposed. Your power as a chosen one doesn't come from ego or arrogance. It comes from humility, purpose, and a deep connection to the universe. You are protected by forces that guide you, that guard your path because you have a mission to fulfill. This is why their mockery didn't touch you. This is why their words couldn't break you. You are chosen, and no human judgment can change that. They laughed at your struggles, but they didn't see the growth happening within you. They mocked your dreams, but they didn't realize those dreams were planted by destiny itself. They tried to stop you, but they were only fighting against the universe's plan. And no one can fight the universe and win. You are a chosen one, and your path is protected. Your purpose is greater than their opinions. Your destiny is stronger than their doubts. This is why they are shaking now. They feel the power they tried to challenge. They realize they crossed a line they should have never crossed. They laughed at you, but the universe is laughing back. You are rising, and nothing they do can stop it. You are chosen, you are powerful, and your destiny is unfolding before their very eyes. They walked into the psychic's room with smirks on their faces, ready to laugh at whatever nonsense they were about to hear. They thought it was all a joke, just something fun to do to pass the time. They were skeptical, even arrogant, believing they were smarter than everyone who believed in such nonsense. They didn't believe in psychic powers, in spiritual energy, or in anything beyond what they could see and touch. But that was about to change. The room was dimly lit, with candles flickering softly, casting shadows on the walls. Incense filled the air with a sweet, mysterious scent. They laughed at the dramatic setting, whispering to each other that it was all just for show. But then the psychic entered the room, her eyes piercing and ancient, as if she could see straight through them. She sat down in front of them, closing her eyes and taking a deep breath. The room suddenly felt colder, and a chill ran down their spines. They laughed nervously, trying to hide their discomfort. The psychic's voice was calm but intense. "You seek answers, but you're not ready for the truth," she began. They rolled their eyes, already bored by the theatrics. But then she said something that made their hearts stop. "You've crossed paths with someone powerful, someone whose light you tried to dim. But this person is protected, chosen, and destined for greatness." Their laughter died instantly. They exchanged worried glances, their faces turning pale. How did she know? Who was she talking about? The psychic's eyes opened, and they were filled with a cold, unblinking intensity. You mocked them, belittled them, tried to break them, but you didn't realize who you were dealing with. This person's destiny is guided by forces beyond your understanding. By mocking them, you mocked the universe itself, and now the energy you sent out is returning to you. They felt a cold sweat running down their backs. Their hands trembled as they tried to laugh it off, but their voices shook with fear. They had no idea what they had done. The psychic's words echoed in their minds, haunting them long after they left her room. This person is a chosen one, protected by spiritual forces you cannot see. You laughed at them, but the universe never forgets. What you gave is coming back to you, and it's stronger than you could ever imagine. They tried to shake it off, telling themselves it was just a silly show, just tricks and words meant to scare them. But they couldn't escape the fear growing inside them. The psychic had looked straight into their souls, and they felt exposed. Vulnerable and terrified, they realized that they had crossed a line they never should have crossed. They thought they were just mocking another person, but they had challenged something far greater. They didn't believe in spiritual power before, but now they were living in fear of its consequences. They saw shadows in every corner, felt cold, chills even in the sunlight, and couldn't sleep without nightmares haunting them. They never should have laughed, they never should have mocked someone they didn't understand. And now they were paying the price. They left the psychic's room pretending to laugh, trying to act like they weren't scared. But their faces were pale, their hands were trembling, and their hearts were racing. They felt cold, even though the sun was shining brightly outside. Everything felt wrong, like the world had tilted on its axis. They couldn't explain why they were so afraid, but the fear was real, crawling under their skin like icy fingers. They tried to shake it off, telling themselves it was just a silly show, but they couldn't escape the feeling that something was watching them. The psychic's words echoed in their minds over and over again. You mocked the chosen one, and now the universe is watching you. They heard her voice in every whisper of the wind, every creak of the floorboards, every shadow that moved in the corner of their eyes. They couldn't sleep. Every time they closed their eyes, they saw her piercing stare, felt her cold words sinking into their souls. They tried to forget, to laugh it off, but the fear was too deep. They were haunted by something they didn't understand. They started noticing strange things happening around them, lights flickering for no reason, doors creaking open on their own, cold chills running through them even in warm rooms. They felt like they were being watched, followed by shadows that didn't belong to anyone. They heard whispers in the silence, faint but chilling, echoing the psychic's words. The chosen one is protected, and you challenge their destiny. They were too scared to talk about it, too ashamed to admit that they were terrified by something they had once laughed at. They tried to go on with their lives, pretending nothing was wrong, but everything was wrong. They were nervous, jumpy, afraid of every sound and shadow. They couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, couldn't escape the cold dread wrapping around them like chains. They felt trapped, surrounded by invisible forces. They couldn't see or fight. They were haunted by the knowledge that they had crossed a line they didn't understand. They had mocked a chosen one, and now the universe was answering. They became paranoid, questioning everything and everyone. Was that shadow just a shadow, or was it something else? Was that chill in the air just the wind, or was it something watching them? They were scared to be alone, but terrified to be around others. They were afraid to sleep, but exhausted from fear. They felt like they were losing their minds, trapped in a nightmare they couldn't wake up from. They never imagined that mocking someone could lead to this. They never realized that their words would bring such darkness into their lives. They thought they were strong, untouchable, above the nonsense of spirituality, but now they were weak, broken, terrified. They realized too late that they had challenged a power they couldn't understand. They laughed at you, mocked you, dismissed you as insignificant. But they didn't see your light, your purpose, your protection. They crossed a line, and now they were facing the consequences. They were haunted by shadows they couldn't explain, haunted by the realization that they had tried to break someone they never could. They mocked you, but they were mocking the universe itself. They tried to bring you down, but they only brought darkness upon themselves. They laughed at your struggles, but now they were struggling just to survive the fear that consumed them. They didn't believe in spiritual power, but now they were living in its shadow. They crossed a line they never should have crossed, and now they were trapped by their own actions. They are shaking, not because of you, but because of the power they tried to challenge. They never understood your strength, your purpose, your protection. They thought you were weak, but now they see that you are powerful beyond their understanding. They laughed at you, but they weren't laughing anymore. They mocked you, but now they were haunted by their own words. They tried to break you, but they only broke themselves. You are the chosen one, protected and destined for greatness. They tried to stop you, but they only stopped themselves. And now they are left shaking, haunted and powerless. Spiritual energy is real, powerful and undeniable. It is not just a belief or a superstition. It is the force that connects everything in the universe. This energy flows through every living being, every thought and every action. It is the invisible thread that ties the physical world to the spiritual realm. Most people live their lives unaware of this energy, but chosen ones understand it deeply because they are born with a heightened sensitivity to it. This is why your presence affects people without you even trying. Your energy is potent because it is connected to your purpose, your destiny. You carry a light within you that others can feel, even if they don't understand it. When you walk into a room, the atmosphere changes. People feel drawn to you or, in some cases, intimidated by you. It's not about your words or actions, it's about your energy. Your vibration is higher, purer and more powerful because you are aligned with a spiritual calling. Those who mocked you felt this energy, even if they didn't realize it. They laughed because they didn't understand why they felt uneasy around you. They gossiped because they were trying to bring you down to their level, a level where they could feel comfortable again. But your energy cannot be diminished by their ignorance. Their laughter was a reaction to their own insecurity because your light exposed their darkness. They mocked you, but they were only revealing their own fears. Spiritual energy doesn't discriminate. It simply responds to what is given. When they mocked you, they were sending out negative energy. They were projecting their own fears, doubts, and insecurities onto you. But spiritual energy flows in cycles, always returning to its source. By mocking you, they were only cursing themselves. The energy they sent out is coming back to them, magnified because they challenged the wrong person. They didn't understand that you are protected, that your energy is guarded by spiritual forces beyond their understanding. This is why they are suffering now. The nightmares, the fear, the cold chills, the shadows, they are all manifestations of the energy they created. They laughed at spiritual power, but now they are living in fear of it. They didn't believe in consequences, but now they can't escape them. They mocked you, but they were mocking the energy that protects you, the energy that flows through you because of your purpose. They tried to break you, but they only broke themselves. They didn't understand that your power is not in words or actions, but in energy. You don't have to do anything for karma to unfold, because spiritual energy balances itself. They thought they were attacking you, but they were attacking the universe's plan, and the universe always protects its own. They tried to curse you, but they cursed themselves. They tried to stop you, but they stopped themselves. And now they are trapped in the darkness they created, haunted by the energy they sent out. They thought they were safe because they didn't believe in spiritual energy. They thought their words were harmless because they didn't understand the power of intention. They didn't realize that every word, every thought, every action carries energy. When they mocked you, they were not just expressing opinions. They were sending out vibrations into the universe. They laughed at you, but they were creating negative energy that was bound to return to them. And now they are facing the consequences. Spiritual energy always comes full circle. What you give is what you receive. They gave out negativity, mockery, and doubt, and now they are receiving fear, anxiety, and chaos. They cursed you with their words, but those curses are now haunting them. They laughed at your struggles, but now they are struggling with fears they can't explain. They thought they were powerful, but they are powerless against the consequences of their own actions. They try to run away from the fear, from the shadows that follow them, but they can't escape because they are running from their own energy. They feel trapped because they are surrounded by the negativity they created. They hear whispers, see shadows, and feel cold chills because they are haunted by their own intentions. They laughed at spiritual power, but now they are prisoners of the energy they sent out. They tried to challenge the universe, but they are now trapped by the laws of karma. They can't escape because they challenged a chosen one. They tried to break you, but you are protected. They mocked your purpose, but your purpose is guarded by spiritual forces they can't see. They thought they were hurting you, but they were hurting themselves. They didn't believe in consequences, but now they are living in them. They are haunted, terrified, and powerless because they tried to challenge a destiny that cannot be changed. They tried to fight a battle they could never win. They thought they could laugh at you and walk away unchanged. They didn't realize that by mocking you, they were mocking the universe's plan. And the universe always responds. They are now feeling the weight of their own actions, the consequences of challenging a chosen one. They can't escape because they are surrounded by the energy they created. They are prisoners of their own mockery, haunted by their own intentions. They tried to break you, but they only broke themselves. They didn't understand who you were. They saw you as ordinary, but you are extraordinary. They saw you as weak, but you are powerful beyond their understanding. They tried to stop you, but your purpose is unstoppable. They mocked you, but they were mocking the universe itself, and now they are facing the consequences, unable to escape the energy they created. They are trapped in a cycle of fear and darkness because they challenge the light within you. You hold the power to end this cycle, not through revenge, but through forgiveness. As a chosen one, your strength is not in anger or retaliation, but in letting go. Forgiveness is not about excusing their actions. It is about freeing yourself from the energy they tried to place upon you. By forgiving them, you release the negative energy tied to them. You break the cycle, allowing yourself to rise even higher. When you forgive, you don't just free yourself, you release the energy back to its source. You allow the universe to handle the consequences. You rise above the mockery, the pain, and the negativity because your purpose is greater than their ignorance. Forgiveness is your protection, your shield against the energy they tried to send your way. You are untouchable because your heart is pure, your purpose is divine, and your spirit is stronger than their doubts. They mocked you because they didn't understand you. They tried to break you because they couldn't control you. But you are chosen and your destiny is protected. By letting go, you allow the universe to balance the energy, ensuring that what they sent out returns to them. You don't need revenge, because karma is already unfolding. You don't need anger because your peace is your power. You are chosen, and nothing they do can change that. Forgive them, not for their sake, but for yours. Forgive them because your destiny is too important to be weighed down by their ignorance. Forgive them because your purpose is greater than their words. Forgive them because your light cannot be dimmed by their darkness. Forgive them, let go, and watch as the universe lifts you even higher. You are the chosen one. You are powerful, beyond their understanding, protected beyond their comprehension. They laughed at you, but they didn't know who they were laughing at. They mocked you, but they were mocking the universe's plan. They tried to break you, but they only broke themselves. They tried to stop you, but you are unstoppable. Their words were empty because they did not understand your purpose. Their laughter was meaningless because they could not see your light. They thought they were strong, but they were powerless against your destiny. You are chosen, you are protected, and you are rising. Let them watch as you fulfill the purpose they tried to stop. Let them see the power they underestimated. And let them learn that no one can challenge the chosen one and win.